reports. This instructional video will answer this question, as well as introduce you to the purpose and general characteristics of reports, the major categories of reports, and the options to format a report. These are the key foundational principles that you will need to know in order to successfully produce any report. So what are reports? Reports are transformational documents. At a very simple level, this means that reports are about creating change within an organization. Compare this to the more common everyday types of business documents, emails, memos, and letters, which are all transactional documents, meaning they're about the day-to-day actions or activities of getting the job done. Reports, on the other hand, focus on the bigger picture instead of on day-to-day exchanges of information or actions. Why is the big picture important? Well, consider what you know about the business life cycle. Companies that do not change do not grow, and companies that don't grow fail. And if businesses don't stop to look at the big picture of how they're doing, they can't change, which means they will eventually fail. Reports are therefore a key part of a company's long-term success, and employees at any level or in any function within an organization can expect to participate in creating and writing reports at some point in their career. It's important to note that because reports are about the big picture, they're based on information gathered through research. Report writers need information beyond what they know by doing their job every day, so they have to go to other sources to gather that information. This may come from primary sources such as staff or customer surveys or interviews or consultations with experts in other departments or even other companies. Or it may come from secondary sources such as published articles, books, or other reports written by professionals. So who are reports written for? Most of the time, a specific person or group will request a report on a particular topic. They would be the primary audience. However, most reports are also of interest to other individuals or groups beyond the primary audience as well. Consider. You're an entrepreneur starting a summer soccer camp. You prepare a business proposal, which is a type of report, with the bank manager or other investors in mind. They are your primary audience. However, think about the parents who will be taking a chance on your summer camp. They'll probably want to read your proposal to reassure themselves that you're probably able to deliver what you promise. They would be your secondary audience. Reports are always written with secondary audiences in mind. At this point, you might feel a bit scared about this new document type. It's helpful to understand that reports share some similar characteristics with essays, which most post-secondary students are already familiar with. For example, like an essay, reports have a clear introduction, body, and conclusion. Like essays, reports have a clear thesis statement. It's called a purpose statement in a report. Like an essay, reports use clearly and logically organized ideas. There are some differences between reports and essays, though. For example, reports use headings to visually show the reader what the outline of content is. Another difference is that reports don't use the more flowery writing elements of essays. For example, reports don't begin with an opening grabber idea, and they don't end with memorable thoughts. Reports avoid unnecessary adjectives, and they use the principles of business writing that you've already learned to provide facts and details in a simple, direct, and concise way without lengthy explanations. What are the categories of reports? There are many types of reports, but they all fall into one of two simple categories. Informative reports, which only provide information and leave it up to the reader to decide what to do with that information, and analytical reports, which provide information and then tell the reader what it means, what to do with that information, etc. Here are some examples of types of reports in these two categories. Informative reports. historical reports. So, what do these reports look like? Well, reports can be packaged in two ways. If a report is not likely to be seen by very many people other than the primary audience, and if it's fairly short, it's often packaged informally. This means that addressing information is added to the report using the rules of either memo or letter formatting, depending on whether the primary audience is internal or external to the authors of the report. However, if a report is likely to be distributed more widely, or if it's longer, or if it will be seen by very high-powered people, it is usually packaged formally. You can see an example of a formal report in your textbook. But in summary, these formal reports contain a hard backing to give the report a sturdy, weighty feel, a transparent cover so busy executives can see what each report is about without having to open anything, and are either Surlocks or spiral bound. Obviously, all of this costs money and is therefore usually reserved for reports that contain other formal elements before or in front of the report called front matter, such as a table of contents and an executive summary, and often contains materials after the report called back matter, such as references and appendices. So what did we learn today? Reports are research-based transformational documents written with secondary audiences in mind. Reports come in many types, but are all either informative or analytical. Reports can also be packaged both formally or informally. Thanks for watching.